first guest tonight has spent 40 years delivering our news on CNN, where she currently serves as the chief international anchor. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Christiane Amanpour. Nice to see you again.
Lovely to be here.
Now, as I said before, you're CNN's chief international anchor.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll bite. What's up with the world?
In the world, they are watching your election very, very closely because that is really preoccupying them, having had a collective nervous breakdown the last time. They are trying to proof themselves
I guess I didn't really take that into account all the time. So the world freaked out.
Yes.
As much as some of us did.
As much as some of you did, yes.
Yes.
Some of the world. I mean, there were parts of the world that didn't freak out.
Mostly
the autocratic part of the world, yeah.
Your
Orbans,
Putins,
your Xis,
yeah.
your Orbans,
Erdogans, those people. Okay.
Your, MBSs.
The idea of a second Trump presidency makes Americans fearful. What specifically? I assume the world is freaked out about the second possibility.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look, you've just been talking about something that's freaking out Americans, which is this Arizona law from pre-Civil War.
Yep.
And that is being really looked at, especially in democracies where there are codified women's rights and human rights. France, for instance, on International Women's Day, March 8th, actually signed into law a constitutional amendment to guarantee a woman's right to make choices about her own body, abortion and other things. Yeah. And
do many countries have that?
Not necessarily. No, they don't. But this was a sort of a demonstration of will by, a country that was very supportive of your, revolution, to show that this is universal human rights and that women actually need to be treated like adults. And whether it's Afghanistan, Iran, or the United States, a bunch of grumpy old men shouldn't be making essential decisions for them and their bodies.
One of the most important things, biggest part of their job that's very hard to prepare for is international relations. So that's domestic policy in the United States that worries people overseas. What about our relationships? A second Trump presidency, what about that worries our allies around the world?
Well, for instance, apart from this issue, which is vital to people all over the world, and they don't want to get caught up in the same nonsense that's happening here in some quarters, for instance, NATO. Right?
Yeah.
So NATO was something that actually the majority of Americans support America in NATO, and yet, if you remember, Donald Trump played fast and loose with NATO.
Talked about getting out of it.
Yes, that, and very transactional. Like, if they don't pay up, I'm not going to support them, and I'm going to invite, Putin to do whatever the hell he wants to do.
See something happen
well,
to
there
him.
you go, and I won't come and help you.
Right.
Yeah, and that worries them. So they're trying to Trump-proof as well. For instance, over Ukraine, as you can see, the MAGA Republicans are following Trump in not allowing aid to go to Ukraine, which is being supported by the West, by the United States, because it is a fundamental principle of democracy, freedom, and sovereignty.
I never hear a really good explanation from the opposition to supporting Ukraine in the United States, the far-right Republicans. Why what is the reason why they don't want them to be their own country?
It's very hard to understand because these Republicans are, people who have been security Republicans. They stood up to the communists. They stood up to the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
In fact, Ronald Reagan helped with Gorbachev to bring down the evil Soviet Union. And while Putin is not the Soviet Union, he's an imperialist with land-grabbing tendencies.
He wants to reconstitute the Union.
Correct. And he believes that a country like Ukraine has no right to be free because that then looks bad for him. His people might one day, God forbid, say, could we have the same freedom as Ukraine does? And he's trying to make sure that doesn't happen. So when they say Trump, comes to say, I have a way to end this war in 24 hours, and his way involves telling Ukraine to cede territory to Putin.
Yeah, you can stop any war by surrendering.
Yeah, exactly.
I've won a lot of fights that way.
But even as you know, the bully in the playground is not stopped by surrendering. You got to slap him around. Anybody who has a puppy dog. But seriously, Anybody who has a puppy dog knows that there is no satiated button, right? They're never happy with all the food you give them. They keep wanting to gobble. It's the same with, land-grabbing dictators.
Now, you've covered a lot of conflicts over the years. You have said, I believe, that covering Israel and Gaza is extraordinarily difficult.
Yes.
Why? Because all war is hell.
Yes.
Why is this more difficult?
I would tell you why. First and foremost, independent journalists, foreign journalists, are not allowed to cover the war. If you notice,
what do you mean?
Well, we're not in Gaza, are we? We've made many petitions. We've asked the Israeli government.
So there are no foreign journalists in there?
Zero. They basically say you can go if you go with our army. So it's embeds, it's guided tours. You don't get to stay beyond or move out of line from where they are. You've seen the reports from the New York Times and others who get 1 or 2 hour, opportunities. That's just not how we report.
Well,
And many journalists have been killed. The Palestinians,
that's
95 or so.
95, that's the last stat I saw is 95 journalists
Yeah.
who have been able to get in or have already been in there and doing
Well, do they
stringers
live there?
have been killed there.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, and I mean this quite sincerely. What is it about journalism that is worth dying for?
Well, first of all, these people are being killed, right? They are being killed because there's a big, problem going on in Gaza right now. And what is worth dying for and risking your life? If you ask me, as a foreigner going somewhere, it is to tell the truth and to get under, the headlines, to actually know and be people's eyes and ears on the ground and to know what's going on, to try to tell the full story of what's going on. The other fact is that the government in Israel right now, and this is very sad because it is a democracy in that part of the world, and it has a robust media landscape. It's potentially, it's taken measures already to ban, for instance, Al Jazeera.
What would that mean?
That would mean that we have one less actual route of information out of Gaza. And they are a professional news organization. And, that this has a very, very chilling effect and a very chilling... I don't know of a democracy that has banned independent journalists, especially from other democracies, like America, Britain, France, wherever you want to say, Canada, from going to cover, a war that they're undertaking.
We have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Christiane Amanpour, everybody.